everyone. I thought maybe we'd go back, not too far back, but just a little ways, just to see how we got here. I got this up here, and I thought this was pretty interesting. How we seen all of this? We seen the train wreck, and we still got on. So I thought it was pretty interesting what she was saying.
Cautious about public political affiliations due to changing consumer expectations and political climates. TikToker, hear me out on this, made a list of companies that made large donations to Project 2025.
I promise you, I'm going to give you the list of all the companies and products that supported Democrats or supported both parties equally or didn't donate politically at all. And that's a huge list. But right now we're going to go through this list. Ready? AutoZone, Ace Hardware, Allegiant Air, Arby's, Armor All cleaning products, for the car, Ashley Furniture, Bali, bras and underwear for women, Bausch and Lomb, Big Heart Pet Brands, Bike Athletics, that's men's underwear, Any Beer by Molson, Any Beer by Coors, Brooks Running Shoes, bummer, Buffalo Bills, I'm including the sports teams here for donating bigly to Project 2025 and Trump because most sports teams didn't donate at all, but I'm mentioning the ones that voted for Trump and Project 2025. Buffalo Wild Wings, Buick Cadillac, Carl's Jr., Champ Clothing, anything by Hanes really, Chevrolet, Cincinnati Financial, Cinnabon, Conair Hair Products, which are all your hair products at like Myers and your pharmacy, Cuisinart Kitchen Products, Dairy Queen, Dirt Devil, Discount Tire, Dole Foods, that's a lot of frozen fruits and canned fruits, Dudley Sports, Exxon, Farberware, that's the kitchen and dining room products, Florists.com, Folgers, Fruit of the Loom, Fruitbouquets.com, Fry's Electronics, Geico Insurance, George Foreman Grill, GMC, Hanes, all the Hanes subsidiaries, Hardee's, Helzberg Diamonds, Hendrick Motorsports, Hobby Lobby. This one hurts. Home Goods, because they're owned by TJ Maxx, Hoover Vacuum Cleaners, Horizon Bank, Keller Williams Realty. If you're going to buy or sell home, keep that in mind. Legs, which are the socks and nylons and stuff like that. Las Vegas Sands, so stay out of their hotels if you're going to Vegas. LL Bean, Maidenform, that's bras and underwear for women. This one hurts. Marshalls, they're owned by TJ Maxx. Martin's Famous Pastry Shops. McDonald's, Any Beer by Miller's, Any Beer by Milwaukee's Best, Mobile, Molson's, of course, My Pillow, Napa Auto Parts, the New Orleans Saints, the New York Yankees, Norwegian Cruise Lines, Old Dutch Foods, Oric Vacuums, Purdue Farms, that's a shit ton of meat in the grocery store that we buy, Playtex, bras and hygiene products and baby products, Public Storage, Rayovac, Schlotsky's restaurant franchise, Shell Oil, Sierra Trading Post, Slumberland, mattresses and furniture, Soma Intimates for women, Spalding, Stanley Black & Decker Hardware, Star Furniture, Stiletto Power and Hand Tools, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, The Popcorn Factory, Toastmaster Appliances, Tractor Supply, Wendy's, Wynn Resorts in Las Vegas, 1-800-Flowers.com, all of the Smucker's products, the Uncrustables, Jif Peanut Butter Jelly, Dunkin' Donuts, Meow Mix, Milk Bones, Pepperonis, that's all from them. Public Supermarket, Act Fluoride Mouthwash, all the Procter & Gamble products, they donated bigly to Project 2025. Baskin Robbins, Charmin, Omni Hotels, Wow Cable, the Arizona Diamondbacks, they even donated to Lauren Boebert. What the hell? Chiquita Brands, Jimmy Dean, their sausage, Land O'Lakes, Boost Mobile, Vanity Fair, they're the paper cups and paper plates, GNC, Grey Goose, the Los Angeles Angels, Sunoco, Tito's Vodka, Turtle Wax, Wonder Bread. This one's sad. You've got Urban Outfitters and you've got Free People. They own Free People, and Free People donated to Trump and Project 2025. Enterprise Rental Car. Motorola, Papa John's, Walmart, Yum Brands, Garmin for GPS and other sports products, Alamo Rental Cars, Hershey products. This is a good time to go on that diet and avoid all Hershey chocolates. Anthropology, Bacardi, Bluebell Creameries, Chobani Yogurts, Dean Foods. They sell a lot of meat. Now listen, this seems overwhelming. I promise you I'm going to give you a list of everywhere that donated to Democrats, didn't donate at all, or donated an equal amount to both parties, okay? But it's like the best sports coaches and athletes have said. If you are speeding through the woods on skis or on a bike for competition or the thrill, you do not look at the trees and the boulders and the ledges that you want to avoid. You look at the path right in front of you. That's what you keep your eyes on. And this will be easier if you sit down and write down all the products and vendors and stores and restaurants that you do want to donate or visit and purchase from. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this under 10 minutes. So it's easier to come up with that list of what you do want to purchase, where you do want to.
Wow. Most of these companies that she named are ones that we have been buying stuff from and eating at for years. That's why I always said that we give our money, our hard-earned money, to these people that want to see us fail, that want to see us back in the woods, back in the fields, going backwards. And a lot of people, you don't hear them too much talking about 2025, Project 2025, is because it's so much going on. Every day is something different. Every day is a different crime. Every day is a different change. It's just ridiculous. I thought this was interesting. We got
Black man spy. America, the enemy is in the gates. In fact, not only is the phone call coming from within inside the house, this week the United States has joined with the Russian Federation. And I'm going to tell you quite honestly, the spies are running this country. Russia's agents, assets, and resources are running the United States. And I'm not just talking about Elon Musk. Donald Trump went way out of his way with his sycophant J.D. Vance to insult Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky right in the Oval Office in front of everyone in the world. And what did he do? It wasn't that he wanted the gratitude of Zelensky, which Vance asked for. What it really was about was humiliating Zelensky, blaming him for the war, claiming he didn't thank the United States enough, even though there are 94 documented instances where Zelensky thanked the American people from the bottom of his heart and expected him to roll over and give the United States, no, let me rephrase that, give Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and Elon Musk 50% of Ukraine's mineral wealth and all 50% of all future holdings. This is mind-boggling. Even worse, he used the very words of Russian President Putin. It was clear in that meeting, Trump worked for Putin, not for America. And that's where we are right now. The person sitting in the seat of the President of the United States works for Russia. J.D. Vance works for Russia. MAGA works for Russia. Tulsi Gabbard, who they put in charge of U.S. intelligence, is firing people across the intelligence agency, trying to gut as much as 20% of U.S. spies for Russia. This is a woman who supported Edward Snowden and called for that traitor to come back to the United States and be pardoned for gutting U.S. intelligence secrets and taking them to Moscow. That's how bad it is. But wait, Malcolm, it can't possibly get any worse. Maybe we're going to hit rock bottom here. Really? Let's go to the Pentagon. The drunk frat boy that they put in charge of the Pentagon, a National Guard major, okay, who has alcohol problems and sexual assault charges that he settled. This guy, who they claim is in charge of our defense, ordered the Pentagon to stop all cybersecurity operations against Russia, including offensive plans to stop and attack Russia's cyber operations against America. We literally have a government that is disarming America right now. And many of you are sick.
Oh, and we sit up here worried about what? Come on now. Don't take the bait. Don't take the bait. You know why they put certain things up front? So we can retrieve back into our shell and boo-hoo, take out the violin so you won't see what's really going on. And by the time it's here, it's going to be too late. Because you're going to be somewhere crying in your beer. Or someone or somewhere relishing in all the beautiful trinkets that you have bought. They might catch you in the club. Okay, that's a lot to take in. That is a lot to take in. Yeah. What were Africans doing in 1492? We're not going to talk about that right now. But this is something that they dangled in front of
people that don't understand. The Carmelo Anthony situation, and right now to do is they're trying to give him bail. He don't deserve any bail, man. He murdered a young man, and it's unfortunate because the black community, they love to harbor criminals. Like this young man stabbed a kid in the heart and is now trying to play that he's playing the role of self-defense.
See, this is, and then
now they're trying to reduce bail. I don't like that.
Now we have the incident of the little baby in Mississippi getting shot and killed by a police officer, by a white police officer. And now they got Crump on the scene because they was accused of stealing. And it's going to keep coming. All this stuff is going to keep coming. And it's always going to be us doing something like that. Just like this guy.
That's a rumor. We can't be spreading rumors and lies. They got the camera footage. They got everything. Nobody jumped nobody. These are all lies. Yeah. I don't believe that he deserved to have a bail reduction. I think his bail is at $1 million. His family should raise the money and do what they got to do so that he could get bail. Because You know, this is the price of killing people. I mean, if you want to kill people,
Okay. See, that's
What's going on, everybody? Live
on
on
the
this
right,
YouTube channel on this good day.
we're not focusing on the
About to
right
get it
thing
started
to
tonight.
help us.
Break it down with the proper perspective.
Here,
So much controversy and a lot of deception. You don't know who's coming through with the light and reflection. Whose mouth is mumbling, trick knowledge deceptive. Shabazz break it down with the proper perspective. So much controversy and a lot.
these people, especially our black commentators and stuff, they're focusing on the wrong thing. They're not telling us how to survive this storm that's coming. And then we have these other black commentators that's telling us, oh, Jesus is coming. Oh, angels are coming to rescue you. Okay, you're covered by the blood of Jesus and all this stuff. I mean, I'm just talking down on that. Is it changing people's perception of life, how they live their life, how they treat others, how they treat their community? Because just like that Kamala Anthony, he did not think about the community. He didn't think about his family. He sure didn't think about this other young man's family. And that is too much. We need to start concentrating on more on our youngsters, because they the one is going to be in the forefront when all this come down. They're going after them first. So they should be the ones that's strong enough to fight off this storm that is arising.
Lot of deception. You don't know who's coming through with the light and reflection. And whose mouth is mumbling, trick knowledge deceptive. Shabazz break it down with the proper perspective. Shabazz break it down with the proper perspective.
Peace to everybody out there tuning in. How y'all doing tonight? This is Shabazz with the proper perspective. We're trying to get it started tonight on controversial. That might be a little controversial. I don't know. Got a little heated in me a little bit, so it ain't that controversial, but I'm gonna try to do something something, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm doing a reaction video tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Now, doing a reaction video to somebody that I do watch a little bit on the regular. So let me just say, I got respect for the brother. I'm not trying to do this, ain't a clapback so much. So this ain't a disrespect. I don't do YouTube beef, but I am gonna try to do what I do best. I'm gonna try to dissect something important from the provision. I'm gonna try to share some light on what I think is, well, normally I say an overlooked angle, but I really can't even say it's an overlooked angle, because for the most part, a lot of us we ain't with the shits and giggles no more. It's kind of like what I'm trying to say. Now, as I continue, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. And I know it's been a lot of information flooding our timelines about protests, marches, and rallies, and boycotting. I know y'all seen them. And a lot of us are participating, at least in the boycotts. I know we're participating in the boycotts. So let me just start out by saying, now I'm fully in support of the boycotts, physically and actively taking a part of it. I'm also theoretically fully in support of any action that we take as a group, as a nation, as Black Americans, even if we call ourselves foundational Black Americans. I'm in full support of anybody that thinks something has to happen. We need to stand our ground. We need to let the current administration know we're not going gently until that good night. For you high school poetry students. However, I just got to say, and like I said, I know I'm not necessarily bringing something brand new to the table tonight, because from what I've seen, most of us are like, yeah, but we gonna sit this one out. That's the prevailing message.
Mm.
And so I'm doing this, touch base switch type of thing, because there is a brother that I do respect, and I like his channel.
Either afraid, indifferent, or complicit with his authoritarian agenda. And make no doubt about it, this is about resisting authoritarianism. Third.
So let me pause that. Y'all heard that. You heard what he said. Back on the big screen. So in this last clip, Attorney Corbett warns that the black absence makes black people look afraid, makes us look complicit. Now,
I don't believe that. That's that.
Let me regain my composure. He who learns teaches. Y'all heard that, right? He who learns teaches. She who learns teaches. They who learn teach. For all, anybody tripping off the pronouns, I ain't that. That's not me, but I'll throw them out there for you.
I'm going to say this much.
So, but let me ask you this. What exactly are they learning when our so-called teaching is merely us performing our pain on their cue, performing our pain at their beck and call? What is going to be learned by our presence? All they ever learn is that our value lies in showing up and bleeding out for the cause. And then, as far as they're concerned, in night.
This is why, remember the George Floyd thing went on for 6 months? Oh, yeah. And now they bring that up to make a point. And did it stop any more killers? Did we have less killers? No. Okay. We are missing the point. We have to take things into our own hands now. That protesting, it doesn't help. It doesn't change anything. We have to change our approach, our way of life.
Learn something. And if we choose silence, nah, dude, nah, my brother, that ain't weak. That ain't fear. We gonna withhold. We holding on to our dignity. How about that? Teaching. Let me say it this way. When they are involved,
I said that we don't need to be out there protesting. It's all right if you want to.
Every empire falls. Regardless of their reach or their might, they all fall down.
The British Empire's fleets were not enough. Persian civilization was not enough. Rome's riches were not enough. If every empire declines, is the American empire crumbling before our eyes?
We are well underway on the ride
For the first time in U.S. history, a convicted felon will sit in the Oval Office.
We work for the American people.
How does an empire die?
Tribes, armies, and organizations appear and devour the heritage of the former superpower, often from within.
And what we're not going to do is stand around while they pull this bullshit that they're trying to pull right now.
America is not the greatest country in the world anymore.
The House of Cards, known as the American Empire, is collapsing under the weight of its own contradictions, which can easily be seen by examining 3 key areas of previous empires.
When its people no longer believe in it, then does an empire begin to die.
Let's dive into the fall of Rome, the blueprint for greatness that America seems to be following, right down to its tragic unraveling.
Rome, at the height of its grandeur and its glory, A civilization so powerful it could never be conquered from without. Yet it found the seeds of its destruction within itself.
The Roman Empire was an unparalleled superpower of the ancient world. Its contributions, architecture, art, law, and philosophy are still seen, studied, and appreciated even today. Conquering vast territories and ruling over millions of people, it literally shaped the world in its image.
That is the Roman way.
Possibly the biggest and most epic contribution from Rome was its fall. But it didn't fall in a day. It fell slowly.
Deepest piercing wounds to America's
Internal decay.
The ruling class owned bountiful homes, hundreds of slaves, and hosted lavish banquets for one another, reclining on silken couches, eating roasted peacock and honey-soaked dormice. Contrast that with the squalor of overcrowded and overpriced tenements, where the poor battled against broken-down buildings.
They were also susceptible to being on fire, collapse, and aided in the spread of disease.
Look, the Romans built this stuff. It must have been good for them to live there. No, for most of the people, they had an oppressive government that was stealing lots of stuff.
The wealthy avoided taxes through bribery and influence, while the commoners, their tax burden was increased repeatedly. And if, for some reason, they could not pay, the very real possibility of slavery loomed over all of their heads. Justice was for sale in the final days of the empire, as bribery swayed decisions in every corner.
Things got worse for the individuals as their big, intrusive.
Now, this is pretty interesting. Now, you know, these rich people, are they smart? No. They're really not smart. They just have a lot of money. Most of them was, you know, raised in the money. A lot of this is old money. They come from money. They're not really that smart, okay? And a lot of them are smart, and a lot of them know about this Rome. They know about history. Do that matter? No. Because they're boxed in. They have family behind them. They have friends and stockholders and all this. Agent on feeding off of them, and they feeding off of them, and the family wants to keep the money flowing so they can have all these lavish parties, and it's all a trap. You have the big trap, the small trap. We all trapped. But the sad part about it is our babies, our children that are born into this. They didn't ask for this. Just like I didn't ask for this. You didn't ask for this. Who? And then you have these preachers out here talking about, oh, we lived in the last days. Oh, Armageddon is coming. Then you got the Jehovah's Witnesses talking about the Armageddon. It's going to bring in the paradise, earth, and all this stuff. But right now, sometimes I have to fight the anxiety, the hurt when I see these young happy. They should be happy. And sometimes I look at like, you know what? You hear about how, you know, people are being targeted just because of the color of their skin or just because of their religion or lack of religion. We all have a target on our back. And sometimes you just wonder, how close is the end? Just because of being, just because of walking out the door.
Government was stepping on them more and more. So what you started seeing was people actually leaving the Roman Empire voluntarily to go among the barbarians because life would be better.
Deep resentment festered in the empire, erupting into protests, uprisings, and violent riots. Now, what can this tell us about Rome's great-grandson, America?
The American dream.
The American dream.
American dream. The American dream.
Owning a home.
Because in a well-built house with adequate leisure, they can live and work as better Americans.
The American dream once promised that hard work would lead to success and a comfortable life. Today, this ideal seems out of reach for many Americans.
Living in America is freaking ridiculous right now. I can't afford any of these apartments.
$1,800 for a one-bedroom apartment.
$1,400 for 485 square feet.
So just live in my truck. Today, financing the American dream in America is a far-fetched fantasy for most of America.
It's the new face of homelessness in America. Folks who are working full-time but with nowhere to live.
I would have never imagined that we would be homeless. Never.
When you're that hungry to steal bread from the restaurants behind the stores, you're hungry.
No bread! No bread! No bread is delivered!
The gap between the rich and the rest of us is getting bigger as they have stagnated wages and their companies have exploded the cost of living.
Right now in the United States, we are facing a hunger crisis. This pack of meat, $16.47. How are we supposed to feed our families like this?
So I'm not going to be on here too long, but you see that we're not paying attention. What are we going to do when this empire falls? Are we ready? How are we going to survive? Are we stopping it? Yeah, it's something to think about. Okay, I'm gonna get off of here. So I appreciate everybody, and let's search for people that is telling us the truth and what we should do, because some of us are not going to make it, and we need to help those that can make it, and we need to start focusing more on the children. It says right there, 33.8 million people do not have adequate access to food. Yeah. And we put a criminal in the White House who's making millions of dollars, spending billions of dollars that could be feeding children, helping people have housing. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. We got to stop being sad. We have to check our feelings and start being healthy in mind and body and soul, and fight this for our children.